know what is what.
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is Cult of the Living Dead.
Canada!
This
Oh
constantly.
man, yeah.
What's the name?
The voice acting was great in this movie.
Dude, Japanese voice actors, they get into it.
Like I would like to see videos of them, like especially the people that are dying, and they're like, oh.
That's funny. All right, let's get started. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are Cult of the Living Dead. Thank you for joining us this week. We are covering the movie Akira. Just a quick reminder for first-time listeners. We are a movie podcast. We cover cult classics, B movies, and horror. All these opinions are subjective. None of us are like classically trained in cinema, but we are all movie lovers. So enjoy the ride. So I'm the Dale, followed by my co-host, Mr. Saya.
Yo.
And Twan.
What up?
All right, so let's get into it. So Akira, 1988, the anime that introduced the Western world to Japanese animation. It is directed by Katsuhiro Otomo, who is also the writer of the manga. Most Japanese animation tend to be based on mangas that are written beforehand. If you're not familiar with the manga is just like a Japanese comic book. So he's the writer and the director, Katsuhiro Otomo, and the music is by Shoji Yamashiro. So the voice actors for this one, we have Kaneda, who was voiced in Japanese by Mitsuo Owata, who was also in another popular Japanese anime film, Paprika, which Inception took a lot of inspiration from. A lot of those scenes are like pretty similar. And then the English is Johnny Young Bosch. If you're familiar with anime, he voices Vash the Stampede and Ichigo from Bleach. We have Tetsuo Shima, voiced by Nozomu Sasaki, Joshua Seth in English. We have Kei by Mami Koyama. She does the Japanese voice in Black Lagoon. And Wendy Lee, who does the voice of Bulma in the Dragon Ball series. Ryu is Teshu Genda. He's also in Ghost in the Shell, another popular Japanese anime. And it is Bob Boshell. And then Colonel Shikishima is Taru Ishida, and he is English voiced by Jameson Price. So I saw the movie in dub, and both Saya and Twan saw the sub version. So let's get into our fresh first impressions, boys. So I've seen this movie like about a dozen times, maybe more. I've honestly lost count. Spoiler alert, I guess, for the end. This is one of like my all-time favorite movies. So I will try to not gush about it too much. Try to keep it professional. Like I kept it so straight-faced for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey last week. What about you, Mr. Saya? What is your background info or first impressions of this movie?
Seen this movie like twice before. I think both times before though I had seen it dubbed, so watching it sub this time was a different experience. But this movie was sick. I could understand why it's on this list and why it is just well known for being the movie that it is and the impact that it's had in the culture. It's good. I enjoyed it.
What about you, Twan? Was there any background info you know about it or your first impressions?
Don't really have too like background information on this movie. It was my first time watching it ever. I kind of knew what the movie kind of like ended up being, only through like other sources of media. So I know South Park did their own version of Akira. Rick and Morty also did their own version. So it's been used in quite a few other forms of media, and that's where I know it from. I feel like as someone who's not too deep into like the anime scene, kind of just have like surface level knowledge. Akira is something that's talked about by like everyone and anyone who knows anime, and I'm sure one of you dudes probably introduced me to the movie itself, but I just never came around to watching it. So like I know how the movie ends up, or what direction it ends up going. So I was pretty excited to kind of see how it all, I guess, developed. So first impressions was super stoked to finally just sit down and give this movie the time of day. I did end up enjoying it. I'd say the second half way more than the first half, but all in all, cool ass movie.
Yeah, this movie is definitely like a slow burn. Like the first half is like a lot of like exposition, like setting the scene. Like it's a 2 hour long movie, and the first hour is kind of like introducing to the characters.
Yeah.
And then the last hour of the movie is just like bonkers, like balls to the wall, like like shit after shit after shit just keeps like happening like back to back to back. Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies. And I think it's part of that is because like it is based on a manga and it's a movie, right? So like most anime series are based on a manga. So you have like a whole season or seasons worth of episodes to animate what the comic book did basically. But what's interesting about this one is that part of Akira the manga, it's 6 volumes, was written before the movie was made. Then Kachihiro was approached to do it, and he's like agreed to do it. And he's like, all right, I'll do it. So part of while the movie was being filmed, part of the anime was released, and then the anime didn't the manga didn't actually finish till after the movie came out. So it's kind of weird to be like the movie was influenced by his early works, but also probably influenced how he ultimately like concluded this manga series. So I think that's kind of interesting going into it because you don't really see that where the creator of the comic is the one who makes the movie too. It's usually like some studio gets the rights to it and then they adapt it and then just kind of like fill in the gaps if it's not finished yet. Like filler episodes or like non-canon endings or whatever. So it's interesting that the writer also got to direct and create the movie.
Is the manga end the same, or does it have that? It follows the same story arc as the movie towards the end.
So I haven't read the manga. I'm halfway. I started reading it because it was like my I don't know how many time watching this movie. I was like, you know what? I should finally just like read the source material. So I'm halfway through the first volume, and it's definitely different. Like, but you could see like where he grabbed some information for the first one. Someone online explained it that the movie adapts like most of the first book is the first half of the movie, and then the last hour is like taking pieces from the other 5 volumes and the second half of the last book. So it's kind of like because it's a lot. Like volume 1 of the manga is 354 pages, and each volume is that long. So it's like a lot of information to condense into a 2 hour movie. That's like I don't know. I don't know how many pages that adds up to. I don't feel like doing math. But I think it's like around a couple thousand, maybe. No, like 1,800, a little over. Yeah, about 2,000. Yeah, so it's a lot to condense into 2 hours of film.
Yeah.
So this movie starts off. We get introduces some background information. So we see that there was this like big atomic bomb like explosion happens in the center of Tokyo. And then it says that this bomb happens, a new weapon goes off, destroys Tokyo, and then they say World War III broke out, and then you're put 30 years into the future into Neo Tokyo. And this is like this cyberpunk aesthetic. I really like the animation. Like a lot of this movie beginning is just kind of like scene setting, like you just like scrolling through Neo Tokyo, what it looks like now, kind of like that combination of like new city with the on the backdrop of like this catastrophic like event that happened 30 years prior. And you're introduced to the main characters, which is Kaneda and Tetsuo. Kaneda is like the leader of this like motorcycle gang. He's a teenager, he's 15, and Tetsuo is his buddy, and they both kind of run in this group of motorcycles. And it's cool because it kicks off with them going against like another motorcycle gang, the clowns, and you get to kind of see like that iconic red motorcycle and the red jacket with the pill on the background that Kaneda wears. And it kind of introduces like how much of a badass he is, the way he just kind of like solo takes out like most of the motorcycle gang like by himself. And then that's where you see the famous Akira motorcycle slide. Did you guys know about that? Like, did you recognize that slide from like other things that you'd seen?
Yeah. I knew that slide was from this movie. I mean, most recently it was used in Nope.
Yeah, he slides
by-
the horse.
Yeah. No, he it's the chick.
Oh yeah, the white motorcycle. Huh?
Yeah, she slides the electric motorcycle.
That's right. Who
At the
slides the
very
horse? Wasn't that in a movie?
That sounds ridiculous.
It might have been an Indian film.
Bollywood?
Might have been a Bollywood film because they do some wild shit in those movies.
Yeah, but that slide is so iconic. It's been in like, I'm looking at the Wikipedia and it's just like a paragraph of just movies and shows.
If you go on YouTube and you Google like Akira slide, you'll find like 3 to 5 minute clips where people just pulled when people have used that slide in like other medium, and it'll be like nonstop, like this show, like back to back.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
Pretty cool. Yeah, no, it's an iconic slide. It's really cool. I think it's like one of those shots that like really like tells you how badass a character is without really having to tell you anything. Like that one, him sliding it out of scene in a sideward slide that kind of defies like the laws of physics. I don't think you can actually do that with a motorcycle.
Yeah,
and he just it's pretty cool. It's iconic
also,
for a reason.
Canada and all of the kids are 15. Their age?
Yeah, they're in high school.
That's wild.
Dang.
Yeah, they
do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I know they seem like much older, but I feel like when you're growing up in this type of environment, like you grow up a lot quicker than people who live in like a peaceful area.
That is true. Yeah, they're going through a lot. I mean, even their school system that we see later on is like super fucked up. But I don't know. I guess I thought that they were seniors or something like that because they just kind of they seem way older than what they actually are. Not only are
they 15, but they're not like even in high school. They're in vocational school, so they're like learning to be like tradesmen. Like they got kicked out of like education, quote unquote. So now they're trying to be they're training to be like blue collars because like it's like their last attempt to become like useful members of society or something like that.
Yeah.
So we kind of like I think it's cool because it kind of gives us like some inside information to just like how fucked up like Tokyo is, like the civil unrest. Well, like while this motorcycle gang is going on, we see that there's like riots going on throughout like Tokyo. There's a bunch of protests. This guy's like running around, like kidnaps this kid. There's like an active like military presence like in the city, where they just gun down this dude like in the middle of broad daylight.
Yeah, and there's like a news. There's the news playing in the bar in the very beginning, and it says that the unemployed workers are striking due to tax reforms because of the confusion in parliament and the finance ministers trying to like figure out what's going on. So there's all kinds of different unrest going on. Like it sets up like a really turbulent time. So I guess that makes sense that they're doing really old kid stuff, but they're like actually really young kids at the same time.
They're 15 and they're in a fucking motorcycle gang.
Yeah. And Kanata has like the sickest motorcycle out of like everybody. Like it's red. He doesn't even sit like forward. He sits backwards. Like he's sitting in like a chair, and like the chair is driving the motorcycle. Like he is the dopest motorcycle out of the whole crew.
I like how Tetsuo comments on it. He's like, oh, when are you gonna let me drive your motorcycle, Kanye? And he's like, oh, when you get the balls to like steal one for yourself. So like he just fucking took that from somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that motorcycle is sweet. You can get one in Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was the only vehicle I used for like the entire game once I got it. Yeah, so you got these roaming motorcycle gangs. So it's not just them, right? It's that group, the clowns. Yeah. And then on the backdrop, you got the workers' riots. You have this dude who's like running through the city being kidnapped by he kidnapped the kid. It looks like a kid. He's being chased by the government. So it's kind of like a mystery behind that. Like, okay, what's going on with that? That was pretty interesting. Oh, that whole chase sequence, like the way it was animated and the fucking sound design. I like the music, the way that it ramps it up with like old school Japanese style music with like this like weird like chanting
Hmm.
in the background with like the traditional drums on top of more like modern music. I feel like it did a good job of like upping the tension during that chase scene when he's being chased by the dogs and then he's like ultimately cornered by the police and they fucking light that dude up.
Yeah. They
Like a
they
mad
blast him, dude. They
dude,
like
they
everybody
unload.
unloads on this guy. Yeah.
That was, and then it's cool too because like it happens right in front of this protest. Like, like there's literally thousands of people just watch this dude just get like lit the fuck up,
Yeah.
and then everyone starts rioting, and the fucking kid like blows up a building. So going into it, did you know that there was gonna be like superpowers in this movie, Twan?
Um, no, I did not. So going into it, the only thing I knew about this movie was the organism at the end, um, and then the slide. Like I think those are the only two things I've ever known about this movie. So everything else is new. I'm gonna be honest. The first half, it was really boring. Um, I don't know if the subtitles had anything to do with it, and the fact that my ADHD only allows me to do one thing at a time, so I have to pick and choose between reading the subtitles or watching the movie. So if I'm reading the subtitles, I can't see what's going on. It's fucked up, but that's my life.
No,
I should
I
have
feel that too.
I
Yeah,
should have
I
told
do.
you to watch. We should have agreed, but I should have told you to watch the dub because the dub's actually pretty good. Like the voice actors they got to dub it are like legends in like the American like dub scene.
Hmm.
Like the guy who
Then
did
we
the
fucked up.
Kaneda,
I know.
like it was like he plays like Ichigo, right? Like I mentioned, and like that like Bleach is like one of the big three anime. Like it's a huge hit, like 12 fucking season show. So like his voice is like iconic
Hmm.
on like American televisions, I guess.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure. And I don't know. I guess my experience with like dubbed stuff, aside from the more Americanized animes like Dragon Ball Z, um, dub usually sounds like corny as fuck. Like they get some like just normal ass white dude to
Yeah,
play
yeah, no.
like the voice of this crazy sounding, anime character.
That's funny that you say that because when the movie came out, it had one dub cast, and then it got re-released in 2001 with a completely new group dubbing it.
Damn.
Interesting. So the one that we watched isn't even the original.
Well, the one if you watch the sub, that's the original. But the
Oh,
the
you said
original,
dub.
yeah, the original dub, like I don't even think that one. Like if you look it up, like on Hulu or something, the dub that
Mhm.
you get is the 2001 one.
Damn.
I don't think the original. I think it was like Searchlight. They don't. I don't think they have the distribution rights anymore. It's under Paramount, I think. So, what'd you think when you saw that fucking old ass baby kid?
Fucking Hasbullah?
Yeah, fucking Hasbullah.
Blue Hasbullah. That's all I could think about when we get introduced to him. Like
Yeah,
I wasn't
that's
expecting Hasbullah to come out of nowhere.
yeah. When I first saw this movie, because I saw this movie as a kid, and this dude like disappears, but he's like old. I was like, what the fuck am I
Hmm.
watching? Because I saw this as like when I saw it, I was like maybe like 8 or 9, maybe 10, and like my experience with like anime up to this point was just like Dragon Ball Z. So like when I saw this, I was like, what the fuck kind of anime is this? Like, what am I watching right now? Like, who is this weird like Professor X baby that came out of this helicopter that's like old as fuck? How did you take to the Hasbullahs?
The Hasbullahs?
Yeah, because there's the Professor X Hasbullah, and then there's the other one.
That's funny. I mean,
Um,
it's like, yeah, I didn't know where this movie was going when those characters came out. Definitely wasn't expected. Didn't think that didn't think little blue Hasbullahs were going to be like such a huge part in Akira. Yeah, they
about-
were.
What about you, Saya?
I don't know. I enjoyed the whole mystery of it. I like the whole movie all the way through. I like the beginning because it kind of sets up like the mystery of what's going on. It kind of slowly unfolds. The introduction that we get to the first old man child, the first Hezbollah, is pretty cool too because he's the kid who gets kidnapped, and then this kidnapper gets just completely blasted, and the kid is looking over this old man. He starts screaming, and when he starts screaming, everything around him just starts like shaking and glass breaks, and this kid has like crazy power. So that intro was pretty sick. And then later on, when we get introduced to Professor X Hasbullah, um his introduction is pretty cool too, because he comes in like a helicopter. Like he is like a sick ass military entrance when he
with
comes
the
in
colonel.
with the colonel. Yeah, I thought that was pretty dope also.
And
um
I really like the animation of that whole scene. It had a like very like live action feel to it, but the way everything moved.
and like the shadows that are like going over everything. When you first see the colonel, I think the helicopter door drops, and so there's like a shadow across his face, and he kind of like walks up into into the light. I thought just the whole intro was pretty cool, and it kind of sets up a little bit of the mystery within the first, what, like 20 minutes or so. There's also a lot of different cut scenes in between that where it's setting up like the general like just showing Neo Tokyo, like you had said.
Yeah.
But I think all of that was really cool to kind of set everything up and bring the vibe and let you know like the Hasbullahs are going to be the main part of this movie. And I like how we're just renaming them to the Hasbullahs. I think they have names.
Yeah,
I didn't.
it's kid that escapes is it like Takashi?
Mhm.
And then I forget the guy in the wheelchair's name. Or in the like floating Professor X wheelchair.
Yeah, I don't. I
forget.
just remember
It starts with an
Takashi,
M.
and then Kyoko is
Yeah, Kyoko's
the
the girl.
dreamer. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they're like it's like a not like a prophet. What is it? Like an oracle.
yeah.
And then so they get Takashi, but before that happens, Tetsuo like almost crashes into him and then he like disappears. And Tetsuo like eats shit. And the military comes and they fucking take Tetsuo away. And everyone's like, what the fuck? You guys aren't the police. I like how they're like, call the police. And they're like, what? I thought you guys are the police. And they just take him away and they're like, they don't tell him shit. And they're like, where the fuck are you taking Tetsuo? And then Tetsuo, when we finally do see Tetsuo again, he's like in this like lab, right? They're doing all these fucking experiments in him. He's in the like crazy MRI machine.
Yeah.
Dude, that machine looked fucking wild. So like he gets loaded in and it looks like a regular MRI, but then it like separates and there's like a bunch of scanners and shit floating around him. I thought that was pretty cool. That's taken straight out of the comic. That's like one of those direct adapted scenes that I thought was cool. I was like, damn, what kind of high tech and then is this where we see the doctor where he's like looking at readings and it's just like a light with like other lights that are just like pointing out?
Yeah, it's
And
like
he's
going
like,
in the
these
circle.
readings are crazy. I mean, I've seen this movie so many times. I still can't tell you like how I was supposed to like know that looked crazy. It doesn't explain it at all.
I
It's
thought
just like some visualizer.
I thought it was because there's one that's going around in a circle and it's like expanding and decreasing, and then there's another
Mm.
circle that's going around the same path, and it's kind of making the same like layout as the first one. That was all I got from it. Honestly, you can't really tell like otherwise. They verbally say it's an exposition scene of like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's like this crazy, and then this is the first time we hear Akira's name because they're saying that like Tetsuo might be the key to solving like the Akira riddle, and then you're just kind of like, oh, okay, so who's Akira? Because like it's the title of the movie, but you don't know what Akira is. Like it takes till the end of the movie till you find out what or who it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. So when it comes back to the boys and they're back at like their vocational school and all of them are dressed regular, but like Kaneda's all preppy.
They're at they're in jail.
Oh, that's right. They do go to jail. That's how where he meets you meet Kay here, right?
Kai. Yeah.
Kai.
Yeah.
He just immediately starts hitting on her. He's all pimp.
He like saves her from being picked up. I think how did he just pick her out of a crowd and he just saw her, or did he see her earlier when they witnessed the man getting shot, and then
well, she's running away and I think he bumps into her and then they kind of like he's like, oh, she's cute, and he kind of like follows her and then like saves her and then
he sees her in jail. Yeah.
Yeah, he sees her in jail.
Yeah. I thought that jail scene was really crazy too, because in right before the boys leave, there's a guy who like runs in and he has a grenade and he unpins the grenade and he tries to blow himself up and it fails. And then the boys and Kai end up leaving, and then an explosion happens again, like in the police department. So probably another suicide bomber like actually succeeded. I just like the reoccurring like there's still so much chaos happening in the city besides everything that we're witnessing. Like people are actually blowing themselves up because they're not cool with the government.
Yeah, there's like these three plots going on, right? Like we know there's the biker gang. Like how do they the biker gang with Tetsuo? So you're like, okay, what's gonna happen with that? And then Kai is like this new character that's part of her own group that you don't really know what's going on with them. All on the backdrop of like this crazy civil unrest. Like not only is there fucking like riots, but there's like literal suicide bombers that are attacking the actual like government. Yeah, there's a lot of like a lot of storytelling that happens in this first hour that isn't necessarily like vocalized. It's all visual. Like you gotta like kind of you gotta look at like the background, like what's going on. Like, okay, the city's all fucked up. People are reacting this way. Like, okay, so like you have to kind of like pick up the pieces together. There's not a lot of exposition.
Yeah.
Which I think was cool, which is one of the things I like about this movie is the good that they're able to tell a story visually without necessarily having to like give you this huge exposition about like how the government is like not doing a great job.
Yeah.
What'd you think of what'd you think of the whole everything up in this point, Twan?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't catch any of this stuff because I was too focused reading. Like you guys are explaining all these different scenes, and I'm like, I really fucked up by not watching the dubbed version because I have no input because I was too busy reading the fucking subtitles.
Yeah, this is
I
definitely
caught things here and there, but like there's obviously a lot that I didn't catch. And every most of the things that both of you have been talking about so far, I I don't remember. I don't remember all these like little like all these subtle things that happen throughout the movie. Um, I think that's what played into me needing to break this up into two different parts because I couldn't take it after the first hour. I was like, fuck, nothing has happened in this movie, and I've just been reading the whole time. Like I I didn't know where it was going, so I was just like, I'm gonna finish the second half tomorrow. Like it's time for bed.
I feel that. I feel that. Like it's definitely a lot of like visual storytelling.
Like the animation itself, fucking amazing.
Yeah, that the
Like
animation in this movie is really good.
some of the I guess the scenes, like I really like how they utilize like the top down views to kind of show how big like the rooms were, how big the factory was, or how big the cityscape was. Like it was beautifully done in that aspect. Yeah, I mean, when we get to more stuff that I know about, I'll definitely be talking more.
Then that's when we end up at the at their vocational school, right after they kind of like. I like one thing
Yeah.
that stuck out to me, which is like mad Japanese humor, is their whole conversation with that like cop about how he's like not an old man, how he's only 25. Like it's just in there, like it doesn't really add anything to the movie, but it's just a scene that's like I'm guessing. Well, I guess because I don't know how it translated for you guys. Like it's like, is this like Japan humor? Because like when I was watching it as done, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like I've seen this like a bunch of times. And I don't understand why they chose to put this in here, but it's just like them talking about how he's an old man and he's like, I'm only 25. I'm not even married yet. And then it's just like scene.
I would be angry if a young kid called me an old man. What the hell?
I mean, they are a bunch of punks.
Yeah. I like that when it goes to school and they get disciplined. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah, when the gym teacher just starts punching him in the face.
And every time he punches him, he's like, discipline, punch,
Oh,
discipline, punch, discipline, punch. They like walk out and they're all like bleeding, like gushing blood. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I think that doubles down on kind of like how fucked the country is, right? Because the youth is so wild, I guess, for lack of a better term, that like they re-implemented like these. What would you even call these? I remember, like, you hear it all the time, like from my grandparents,
Abuse.
and they're like, they say like the nun would hit you with the ruler and shit, like they used to would have hit kids back in the day, like these
Yeah,
like
they
really
just-
They just
archaic
abuse
forms
people.
of discipline,
Yeah.
like martial law almost.
Yeah.
It's like a police state, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the authority is very hands on. There's no talking to. Yeah, I thought that was and then they get out and they're all beat up, and then like they immediately are like all the girls flock to them, and they're like the cool kids.
And
Especially Kaneda.
It's funny because in this scene, there's one of the kids, I don't remember his name, but he's like the shorter one and he wears like a suit.
Yeah, the guy with the blazer.
Yeah, the guy with the blazer. He doesn't have a girlfriend, and so he's looking, I think, at Canada, like talk to his girlfriend. And then you see him turn and he opens his mouth and blood just starts like pouring out of his mouth. And he looks like he's like crying and dying at the same time. That shit was so hilarious. Like he doesn't have any lines in that. Like he's just over there just dying and walking at the same time.
Get the
Yeah.
shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
And then one thing that we'll get into, like Kaneda's like really verbally upset and kind of like really worried about Tetsuo. But like because he's like they're like this rough and rowdy group, he doesn't ever really like vocalize that he's worried about him or that he cares about Tetsuo. You know that they've known each other since they were kids, and like you later find out that they were like in foster home together, so they're like brothers. And then we flip back to Tetsuo, right? And he's getting like a fucking experimented on, and he's like tripping the fuck out, having like weird visions and hearing voices. I think of the Tetsuo scenes when he's like in his hospital bed are really fucking trippy. And then we learned that Akira is like frozen, but we don't know like what Akira is.
Yeah, all of the scenes where Tetsuo is tripping out are all really cool. Those are like really, really well done visual trip out scenes. I think
those
when
shits are crazy.
he ends up escaping and he goes to see his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he escapes at this first one, huh?
Yeah, and then as he's escaping, I think he also steals Kaneda's bike, and then that triggers the clown gang to start chasing him. And then I forget. I think he gets saved, right? But Canada saves him, and then right after that, he starts tripping out. And that trip out scene
catches up to him, and they're gonna rape his girl. They start ripping her clothes off, and Tetsuo starts getting the shit kicked out of him. And then Kaneda, they tell Kaneda he's in class, like, yo, somebody stole your bike. The whole class just immediately leaves school. Well, his whole gang, which is like 7 guys, and they catch up to the clown gang, and then Kaneda like kicks the shit out of all of them, saves Tetsuo, and then Tetsuo like feels like, I guess, like emasculated by it.
Yeah.
Because like Kaneda like has always saved them, and like he saved him and his girl, and he's like a real jerk about it. Yeah, and then he starts having like his crazy headaches again. Because then the army shows back up, right, and they take him again.
Yeah, and in that scene, that trip out scene, I think that's the first real trip out scene that you see, and it's crazy because Tetsuo like leans over and he looks like his like stomach falls out, like he's like
and
he just gets disemboweled like immediately, and he's just screaming, and then it like cuts back to like reality. I thought that whole piece was just like damn, this is going places like really
cool,
really
too.
Fast.
It's cool because they show him like see his guts come out and start pushing it in, and then like it's like the camera pans out, like Tom was saying, how it's like almost like an actual, like you're watching like from a movie from a different camera angle, pans out, and it shows him like grabbing at nothing in the air, trying to like put his guts back inside him. I thought that scene was really cool.
Yeah,
it was damn, this dude is fucking tripping, and you could see like the sweat fucking dripping from his head.
Yeah. And this is also the scene where it gets memed. It's now like a really big meme of Tetsuo like saying "leave me alone," and then he gets like a flash and he like starts rubbing his head. That this is the meme that you see from.
That is this
from everywhere now. It came from this movie and from this specific scene. But going also back to what you had said about how Tetsuo feels kind of like demasculated in this scene, I think that kind of ties all together, right, with like that corporal punishment of like, you know, dudes getting beat up as punishment, so you like hold in all of your like anger and rage, and you don't like express anything. So I think all of this is happening probably because Tetsuo was never really able to like express himself in any good type of way, or he just wasn't able to do it. And so that's why I think this all kind of pops off.
Well, then like another thing too, like right when he meets up with his girlfriend, they're kind of talking and he's like, oh, we're gonna run away, like we're gonna get out of here. Tetsuo like doesn't really thrive in this type of environment. Like he's like a soft kid at heart.
Yeah.
But Kaneda thrives in this environment. Like he was made for this world. Like he's 15, he's a leader of a biker gang. Every time he comes has a confrontation with somebody or something, his ability to like step up to the plate, go like war mode, I guess. He's like just like a natural leader, and he just excels at he excels in the chaos where Tetsuo doesn't. So I feel like because he has Kaneda, who's like his brother, who's so good at it, and he wants to be like that, but he's not. Like he's just not that it just like fucks with him. Like he wants to be like his big bro, but he's just the softie, which is cool. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but in this world, it doesn't really work because of like I guess who he's with and like his situation. So he's like all fucking rage filled because he wants to be something that he isn't. At least that's what I got from it, like from a bajillionth watch.
Yeah,
I see something different every time I watch this movie.
I got that too, especially where in that scene they're all trying to kind of help him, like bring him back, like
there's like a genuine like
you okay?
camaraderie.
Like let us help you. And Tetsuo's like, nah, leave me alone. And then he starts tripping out, and like, you can tell his friends wanted to be there, but it spirals like so quick. And then immediately after, I think the military comes, right, and then they pick him up.
Yeah, they pick him up again.
Yeah,
because like he's all fucked up. Like he's like he can't be around regular people anymore. Like he's having like these psychotic breaks, so they need to give him like those pills.
Yeah.
Then we get kind of more background exposition. I don't know if you caught this guy, Twan. Did you see that like monk guy with like the fro? Who's like and then there's people like painting Akira like on like a freeway bridge, and he's got like a bunch of followers and shit. I thought that guy was fucking weird looking.
Monk guy with the fro. Nah, the only like cult leader that's coming to mind is that crazy lady that they're carrying her through the town when the town's going crazy.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy.
Oh, that's a guy. I thought that was a lady.
Nah, it's an old dude.
When she's like, oh, the rebirth from fire, like we're gonna burn everything down and start over, and it's like, damn, having these other little side groups that are just extremists, just trying to purify the Neo Tokyo and just have the fire destroy everything. That was pretty crazy.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because like while we're shown this like extremist group, it's like a religious extremist group. We also get more background information into it's Kai and Ryu, right? And we kind of learned that they're like a terrorist organization working with one of the council members. But we don't know who's a council member yet. Like they meet him at the bridge when right before, I guess we forgot to cover this, but when Kaneda's all worried about Tetsuo, like they're on this bridge like hanging out, and like the shopping mall like kind of like explodes. And then like Kay's kind of like, you see Kay again, you're like, oh shit. So she's like a terrorist, I guess. And her and this Ryu guy like are like they're fighting against the government through force. And they're working with this, looks like this rich businessman guy. And after they pick up Tetsuo, the colonel calls like it looks like all the like council that run the government to have a meeting. And you see that same like business guy at the meeting, and you're like, okay, so he's one of the people that's running the government, and he's trying to like take over from the background using this like terrorist organization. So you have this terrorist group with like religious fanatics and civil unrest. So like it's like this whole city is just like a time bomb that's just like ready to go off. Like there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, the colonel, it kind of reminds me of like it's kind of like Jon Snow a little bit, where like everyone's bickering about shit, and Jon Snow's like, but what about the White Walkers, guys? And everyone's like, shut the fuck up, doesn't exist. Because he's like, no, dude, like Akira's like waking up, like shit's getting crazy. Like I need more money. Like I need to like stop this. And they're like, more money? Actually, you've been spending too much money. We're going to investigate your ass. Don't do anything else. He's like, you fucking dumbasses don't understand like the big threat that's happening to us. And like, you're all quibbling about this political bullshit when there's like a serious problem that we have on our hand. So I thought that was interesting because you see the dynamics of the city that are kind of interwoven, and I thought it were explained pretty well, given that you don't get too much of the like politics of it, but just between these two groups and then the colonel's position and that one meeting, you kind of understand like, okay, like no one can agree to anything. Everyone's inept and kind of out for themselves and like the whole government. So that's why like everything's kind of falling apart. Where the colonel's like the only one that has a lid on like the one task that he's supposed to take care of, which is like preventing another natural disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a scene where his scientist guys running more tests on Tetsuo, and they're talking about like unleashing power or something like that, and the colonel has like such hesitation about doing that. And then I think he also says like, I'm not paid to consider the beliefs, like my only job is to make sure it doesn't happen. He's just so focused on like what he's doing. I feel like he in a way he's like the one good guy, but his like tactics are kind of, you know, it's aggressive. He's like a military guy.
Yeah, he's a military guy.
Yeah, so he's trying to do it, but he does it in like the most like aggressive, you know, intense way. So I could understand why there's such like political rift, but they also didn't understand that like if shit were to pop off, like everybody was gonna die, and they didn't understand it because I think in that same meeting they talk about Akira
like chasing
and like
ghosts, right, or
and
something
like
like that.
what if it was like a false flag attack? Like what if Akira wasn't even like real to begin with? How do we even know Akira like actually existed? And the colonel's like, what the, like, you guys are fucking idiots, like you don't believe this. And I it's interesting that that's brought up, and I feel like you can see that like trying to pull that into this world, like that's like a thing, right? Like people claim that, you know, real large events could potentially be false flag events. Like it's wild that even back in like the 80s, like that was an issue, and we can see it in their media, and like now we can see it here. You know what I mean? That was like a really interesting parallel.
Well, yeah, because like a lot of those politicians probably weren't in charge like when the devastation happened. Like it was 30 years ago. That's a long time ago.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
forget.
not a long time ago, but it's been what, a generation's like what, every 10 years or something like that, every 15 years. So it's been 2 generations basically. So like Kaneda and them were born 15 years after that happened. So like they're like Akira's like a god to this other group of people, right? So he's like, it's been long enough that he's become a legend, or it's become a legend, because you don't really know what it is up until this point. So it's kind of like, yeah, like all these people are just kind of like, whatever, like you're full of shit. I like how the one guy's like, we should have put the money in social reforms, and the one dude's just like, oh my god, just shut up, Ray. Let's just start boxing. That was cool.
Yeah.
Love when my politicians box it out. Celebrity death match.
They should start boxing instead of like going to war. Just
Damn.
take our leader versus your leader. Whoever wins, then
Like
that's
in,
who
like in
wins.
Troy, just your best fighter, mano a mano.
Not even your best, just whoever got
Just
elected. So we would have to put Biden up to go fight for us.
Now we would lose every war.
I know. That's why we have to elect smarter.
Just some fucking like war chief from like Somalia, just all yoked out, dude, just like beats the fuck out of Biden.
And then we become Somalia.
Yeah,
Always wanted
cool.
to be a pirate.
Oh hell yeah. Oh man. So I feel like up until this point, this movie has done a lot of kind of setting the scene for what's about to happen. Because I feel like after this meeting, when we go back into Tetsuo, this is where the movie really starts to like escalate pretty heavily. Because this is when Tetsuo's over, he's sitting on the bed, and he's like, he starts seeing like the toys move on the bed, and he's kind of like, what the fuck? Like when I first saw that, I was like, oh, that's creepy. As like a kid, I'm like, oh, that's creepy. And then when the fucking like the bear like gets all fucking huge, and they're like, what, doesn't like the car like bust through the door? like fucking Thomas the Train. That shit was fucking wild to me. I was like, oh man, this is a fucking trip. I think that these, like you said earlier, Matt, like these scenes, like where he's tripping out, the animation, the of his like facial expressions, and like what happens, how they warp reality was really cool.
Yeah.
What did you think of these scenes? So I'm guessing this is where the movie started to pick up a bit for you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when the fucking bear is like dripping, it's like dripping this white stuff all over, and then it turns into this crazy angry, like I guess it turns into a legit bear. It was yeah, I mean these scenes were crazy. These scenes they were cool. I mean I'm sure we're gonna say this a lot, but damn, especially for being the 80 like a 1980s. You know, I I can't really think of any other animated films that came out, probably like other than Disney movies, but the animation in this movie was fucking amazing. It was so crisp and like clean and like added so much dimension to you know the scenes. Um so yeah, this particular hallucination scene was crazy. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
think that
this
the
is definitely
animation's
when the
hold up.
movie pops off.
Yeah, shit starts to escalate quickly from this point on. And yeah, the animation, I feel like even today, like 40 years later, like the animation still holds
Yeah.
up. Like they did a like kick ass. I mean, it's so good that like I'm pretty sure you guys saw like the 4K version, right? Like they have a 4K version of this movie. They don't really do 4K releases of like old animated movies unless it's got like Disney or like Studio Ghibli like attached to it.
True.
Yeah, I guess I won't get into it later, but I guess like this movie like set the mark for what Japanese animation would be from like this point on. They became like the like, oh shit, like we got to step up our game.
It was a
Yeah,
good
then
level to like bring up too.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
no, it was crazy. Well, I mean, like kind of like I mean, we'll get into it, but this movie was like hella expensive. But they so then Tetsuo's like tripping the fuck out. He's seeing like all this crazy shit. So I like how at first, like, because we know already that he's hallucinating when he's pulling in his guts. So I was like, holy shit, is this dude like imagining like this level of craziness? Like this dude is losing it big time. But then we find out because like he goes like rage mode and like he like yells at it to like stop and he like flings the two like old Hasbula kids up against the wall. You're like, oh shit, they were pranking him. Like that's fucked up. They're just hazing the new guy. But no, it turns out like they're like, no, we don't fucking like you, dude. Like you're bad. You're not supposed to be here. And he's like, oh fuck you guys. Like you guys can't like fucking stop me. Like he immediately just goes like bully mode. And they go to like their room. Their room tripped me out because it's like they're old kids. And I think we later find out that they're actually like they are in kids' bodies, but they are old people. Like they've been alive for a long time.
Yeah.
But their room is weird. It's like a big playhouse. It's got like unicorns and shit,
Like a
like
big
stars
castle.
on the wall. They got like big
Yeah.
ass fucking blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, big castle. Like it's a wild looking room. And then we get with was it Kiriko, the dreamer, the like oracle?
Yeah. I think you get when we get introduced to Kiriko, she gives like a prophecy to the colonel saying that
Oh yeah.
the city's gonna crumble and people are gonna die, and then she just like passes out, and
Oh,
she
that's why
passes out in that room.
Isn't that why he calls the meeting?
Oh yeah, that is why.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
he calls the meeting with the other government officials.
yeah, with the
And I
Supreme
like,
Council.
yeah. Then how when Tetsuo escapes, like he just goes like fucking rage mode, dude.
Yeah, that was a cool scene. It was like when Vader comes in at the end of
Rogue
One, and he's
Yeah.
like in that hallway and he just murders everybody. It's kind of that same type of vibe.
The way the like when he has like a force field that goes around him and it makes indents into like the roof and the side of the wall looks so cool.
Yeah.
And he just like vaporizes those dudes and just turn into like puddles of blood.
Mist, red
That-
mist.
That shit was wild. When I first saw that, I was like, oh shit, like what the fuck? It's like, damn, this movie fucking kicked it up to 11.
Yeah.
Because he just goes rampage mode. Like he just fucks up everybody in his path. Yeah, the fight for him going out of the out of the lab,
Mhm.
it was super cool.
Yeah.
And then I like while he's breaking out of the lab, simultaneously isn't Kai in her group and Candida breaking into the lab?
Hmm.
So they're trying to get to Akira.
They're trying to get to Tetsuo.
Tetsuo.
Oh, they're trying to get to
Um,
Tetsuo.
And they have to travel through like the sewers. They're going through like dirty.
No. Kaneda is trying to get to Tetsuo. They're trying to get to Akira.
Oh yeah. And they think that Akira's where Tetsuo is, so they're like all trying to go to the same place at that time.
No, they luckily run into Tetsuo because they know that there's like a shaft that leads to like a supercomputer cabling that goes underground because like they're freezing something down. That's where Akira is because the politician guy told them. So they're trying to go there, and Kaneda tags along because he kind of gets stuck with Kay and like helps her escape and shit. So they're like, well, we can't kill him. And he's like, well, I'm on your side, whatever. And like he knows information. So like, fuck it, you'll come with us. And then he's looking for Tetsuo. So he's on his own mission. Well, like saying like, yeah, I'll help you guys. But his plan was to like break off and go find Tetsuo like the whole time.
Yeah. Imagine just going on a side quest with a bunch of like political terrorists just to go find your homie.
Fuck.
At like a 15-year-old.
Like, ride or die, dude. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like nothing sweats that dude.
I like that he's also the only one of the group that like tries to go find Canada. Like everybody else is just, I mean, Tetsuo, everyone else in the biker gang is just like off doing their own thing. Like,
well, they go wherever Canada tells them to go.
yeah, but they didn't join him to go do that quest to go find Tetsuo. Like he just went solo. It was like a solo mission that he just went to go do.
Yeah, that's true.
He just took it upon himself. I mean, he definitely sees Tetsuo as like a younger brother.
Yeah, for sure. They have like a mad connection because they grew up together.
Yeah,
which is cool. Yeah, that whole break-in scene was dope too. I like how they're going back and forth between like the two scenes, and that the sewer scene with those like cool hover bikes with like the miniguns on them.
Dude, that shit was crazy.
Cool.
When he just lit that dude up, it's just another scene of someone turning into pink mist.
I mean, that's what would happen if he got shot by a minigun. That's another thing that tripped me out. I'm like, dude, like the military industrial complex of Japan is crazy. Like their security guys just have like hover bikes with miniguns attached to them. Like they're going all out. And even the way that go ahead.
That's why the whole like country or all of Neo Tokyo is basically in unrest because people don't want that level of like military power. So
they
like,
want the police state.
Yeah, there's all this different like actual like war going on like the surface level, and then all this other shit's happening on the lower levels.
I like the animation of that scene too, where the guy gets shot, like the way the bullets bounce off of the sewer water. I thought that looked really cool. I was like, oh, that looks like how it looks in the movies when they shoot like the guns off the water. And that was sick. And then and then another Kaneda moment where he just fucking jumps on the guy, gets the like hover bike, and immediately tries to fly it with like zero experience.
Yeah,
and then he like masters it like immediately. I like the scene where like they flip back to Tetsuo and he's going rage mode, and then they go to the elevator and the elevator opens and they're just like hovering in the elevator and they just fly through. That shit look cool. I just put dude can fly. What the fuck? Yeah, and then like he gets there, right? And he's like, Tetsuo, I'm here to save you. And like Tetsuo's like immediately turns on Kaneda. He's like, fuck you, dude. I don't need to be saved. I'm like, dude, what a fucking dick. Like Tetsuo has mad issues, but dude has issues.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
like he doesn't have superpowers, bro, and he broke into this mad military fucking facility to try and grab your ass.
Right. Well, then you take someone that, you know, has been like, I don't know, I'm sure in his mind he's been pushed to the side his whole life by Kaneda, you know, outshined by him, just always getting punked by him, and then he finally gets like these crazy powers, and so immediately it's like, oh shit, I'm actually a badass. It kind of reminded me of you guys remember that movie Chronicle?
Dude, that's exactly reminded me of.
Yeah.
But there's like the nerdy kid, right? He becomes like, and like his cousin, they have like cool, crazy battle at the end.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's exactly when he's fighting through the city. I was like, did Chronicle like jack a lot of shit from this? Because it feels like very similar.
Yeah, it would make sense. I mean, I feel like a lot of things pulled from this, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's super influential.
I didn't look it up, but was this made before Dragon Ball Z?
No, Dragon Ball Z. Well, Dragon Ball came out in like 84, 85, I think.
Oh, okay.
And Dragon Ball Z came out in the 90s. But like Akira Toriyama was like, wrote them all like sequentially.
Mm.
I'm looking at the wiki for Chronicle, and the director did cite Akira as one of his influences.
I
Nice.
I thought I saw that in in an interview, and that made me want to watch that movie because we saw that. Didn't we see that movie in theaters?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a cool one. I like that movie.
yeah, it was.
It had the like found footage vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is like this next scene is where I feel like they kind of took the inspiration where Tetsuo gets loose in the city
Mhm.
and he just goes like fucking evil Superman mode. And he
Yeah,
goes
when
back to the bar and shit.
oh yeah. Yeah, I like how what we see the mob going down that main street, and then it's just like empty. It's just empty street ahead. And
Oh
then
yeah, because
out
there's
of
like a riot going down just like
yeah,
at the same time.
they completely shut down the city, and then we see that helicopter just come into scene and just get fucked up. It's like, damn, this shit's the imaging or the imagery in this movie was just it was cool. I had never seen like any sort of anime movie like this before this, so it was
Yeah,
nice.
he's like a one man army when he's storming through the shit, and it's cool too because it's like eerily quiet, right? And then like
Yeah,
there'll even be shots of like the empty streets, and you just hear like an explosion in the background, and then Tetsuo just like turns the corner. They're like, "Oh shit, what the fuck happened over there?" And then this is where he finally he like super loses it because he goes to the bar and he like demands drugs from the bartender because it's kind of alluded that the bartender sells drugs like in the beginning of the movie. And drugs play like a huge part in the manga, but not so much in the movie. And he kills his homie. That was kind of fucked up. The other like there's four main biker dudes. It's Kaneda, Tetsuo. This guy, the guy he kills is Yamagata. He's like the tall dude.
yeah,
And then there's the short dude. I forgot the short dude's name. But they both see Tetsuo at the bar. And then they're like all happy to see him. And then he's acting like a dick. And Yamagata's like, what the fuck's your problem, dude? And then they see that he killed the bartender. So Yamagata kind of like steps up to him and he's like, dude, you're being a bitch. And then like it cuts scenes, but it's when we go back and we see Kaneda goes there, right? And it's all fucking destroyed.
yeah.
And we find out like, oh shit. Cause little short homie escaped, but like Tetsuo went off the rails and he killed Yamagata, killed the bartender, destroyed the bar. And that they're looking for him. He's just going ape shit throughout the whole fucking city. I like the scene where he gets the like he just like rips that cloth and he puts it around him and the tank shoots the fucking missile at him and it just stops in front of him and explodes around him. I thought that scene super badass.
Yeah.
That shit was the whole like rampage through the city was wild. The animation, the I don't even know if there are fights. He just kind of fucks everybody up.
Yeah,
What
it's
did
just
you
on a rampage.
What'd you think about it, Saya?
Yeah, during uh that whole scene was really cool, and I also like that there's different cuts, I think, of the rioters who start like following Tetsuo and calling him like Akira.
Oh
And they
yeah.
basically like start giving him this like bigger than like life presence, and they're riding with him at that time because they believe that he's the one who's gonna like bring forth all the fire and like end the occupation by the militarized government. So I thought like the blending of all of these stories, even though in the beginning it seems like everything's kind of separate, they all eventually end up coming together. Like the rebellion of the town versus the government. The government's like trying to overthrow the military. The colonel ends up like assuming power at this point in time,
Oh
and
yeah, there's a
then
coup d'etat.
yeah, there's a coup, and the coup fails because the colonel's just all bomb, and he like shoots the people who try to coup against him. And
Oh yeah,
then
he hunts them all
yeah.
down and just starts killing all the politicians.
in the beginning he's like, we're not going to fight, and then the people who are trying to coup against him like still pull out their guns, and so he shoots them, and then he's like, we're not fighting anymore, like we have to finish this, like we have to stop him before he matures his power. So there's like all these different pieces that are coming together, and meanwhile Tetsuo is just causing a ruckus in the town, trying to get over to the what was it? It's like the part
He's
of
trying to
town
get
where
to the Olympic
nobody,
Stadium, so it's old town Tokyo. So it's
Old
like
Town Tokyo. That's where the main explosion happened.
yeah, 30 years ago where the bomb went off. So I guess to try and get over that harrowing thing, they built the Olympic Stadium on top of the bomb site, but it's secretly like a government institution because Akira is stored underneath the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah. So on his journey over there, like this is like the real culmination of all the different stories that have been set up.
Yeah, the whole him becoming the prophet thing was really cool.
Yeah.
That like whole dynamic.
Yeah, and this is where you see the old guy with the big fro, the cult leader, and he's following Tetsuo, calling him Akira.
And then it cuts to we kind of conclude the terrorist group, right? Like the main guy Ryu, he ends up at Mr. Nazu's place while it's getting like stormed by the military.
Mm-hmm.
And he just fucking shoots him. I was fucked up. He's like, I told you never meet me here. It's like, Dick, you're done. You're on the run. Like, why does it even matter? He just kills this dude for no reason. I was fucked up, but then he has a heart attack and he dies. I thought his heart attack was wild. The way he died, his fucking mouth's all foamy and shit.
I know.
I was like, does that really happen to people?
Well, he also had like a gang of pills in his mouth. Like he was desperately trying to survive by taking more pills than necessary.
That's true. That's true.
It was too late by then.
He had all that money.
He had all that money and all those like, it looked like bonds and like, I don't know, like they look like certificates, not so much money.
I put Mr. Nazu was on a sick one.
He was on a sick one, wasn't he?
He was.
And then he died on a sick one.
And then they finally, I like that. Then we get introduced to like the main human weapon when they're at the bridge and everyone's like following Tetsuo and he's meeting the army and they have all those like laser cannons.
Yeah. Beam rifles.
Those laser cannons are cool.
Yeah, those are cool.
They all blast at him and he just like blocks them all and like destroys the bridge. It just kills everybody.
Everybody. And the cult leader, like all the other military, all the people that were like trying to march with him, everyone's dead.
And then this is when, and then it cuts to the what's it called, to the scientist guy, right? We see that Tetsuo's power is like fucking going off the charts. And like, oh shit. And then I just titled this part of the movie Kanye's on the Hunt, because then he goes and he gets his bike and he fucking picks up one of those like laser rifles and he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna take this dude on myself then.
What a badass.
He's a fucking badass. And then we have a Super Saiyan fight, right? Because Tetsuo finally gets to the Olympics and Kei's like being controlled by Kimiko.
Mm-hmm.
And they start fighting all around fucking Akira's chambers. That fight was pretty cool. I didn't see that coming. I didn't figure it out because Kimiko says it multiple times that like everything's gonna be okay because of Kei's character, but it never explains what made Kei special.
I think there's like specific scenes that are also happening throughout all this craziness of like exposition where I think Kimiko is talking through Kei and she's saying that like everybody has power given to us by Akira. But it just depends on like how you use it and I guess like how your body reacts to it. So I guess Kei character like had like a perfect match to whatever power Kimiko was gonna like give her and use her to like battle against Tetsuo. Yeah, so their fight was really, really dope because I think also Tetsuo like force lifts Akira's chamber out of the ground.
That shit was wild.
And like it basically destroys like half of the stadium, and then he just brings out Akira like in the sky, and they're just like battling. Like there's like explosions and lightning and thunder, and like that was really
like
cool.
all the cables are like going wild and just like destroying shit, and there's like steam flying everywhere. Yeah, the like animation and again the animation in this scene was like really fucking cool.
Yeah,
it pops off like pretty dope.
Yeah, a lot of things happening on like a grand scale. It is very big. The space station that was in this part,
Oh
right? When
yeah,
they go up in the
yeah.
space
The
station and this
satellite.
fucking satellites falling to the earth. It's like fuck. So much is happening. It's so big.
Go before that, it's cool too because the guy like he calls and he's like, "Get me the." I didn't write down what the.
Soul.
Yeah, he's like, "Get me soul," and they're like, "What?" All right, and then like they're fighting, and then kind of sees like kind of Tetsuo sees a light go around him, and he's kind of like, "What the fuck?" And then just like an orbital laser comes from the sky and like blows his arm off.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking dope. I was like, "Oh shit!" They have the fucking laser from Gears.
Yeah. Yeah. That was awesome.
Fucking what was that called? Hammer of Dawn?
Yeah, the Hammer of Dawn. Yeah, that was
Tet-
cool. And then
Tetsuo kind of dominates that though. Like it gets like one good shot at him.
Yeah, he
And
hits him
then-
and it lights up again, and he's just like, "Oh fuck this!" He just flies up to space and just like
Hmm.
instant destroys it.
Yep.
I like how when he first flies too, he's like, "Oh, I can do this too, sweet!"
Yeah.
Like he's all like, "Oh fuck yeah, I'm all bomb." Yeah, when he flew up to space, I was like, "Oh shit, this dude's like legitimately like Superman!" Like holy shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, that part was cool though. Dawn, when the satellite's falling and the lasers just like randomly, sporadically shooting throughout the entire like area until it finally like crumples, and then you can see their fight still going on. But if you look in the background, you see like debris from the satellite like falling in the sky.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
that
shit
was
was
super
dope.
cool.
And I like how Kaneda shows up because Kay loses, and then Kaneda shows up on his bike and he just fucking kicks the shit out of Tetsuo. Like he immediately just starts dominating him with his bike and
Yeah.
his like
Yeah.
laser rifle combo.
He's all bomb. Also, I think like Tetsuo's probably been so used to getting like, you know, dominated by Canada that like it's just as
It's
soon
a
as he
mental
sees
game?
him, it's like a mental game, right? Like you see the dude who's like beat up on you so much, it's like fuck, can I do this now? And so I
But he
think
never even beat up on him. He just like protected him.
yeah, well, I think he protects him, but also he never like tells him like, "Yo, dude, I love you." It's more of like you're so weak, like just get behind me and like follow me. You know, do what I say, you know, that kind of stuff. So I think he was hard on him. It was like the hard kind of love, but I don't think Tetsuo understood that as like a hard love. I think he understood it as like more of like a this guy's putting me down and I got to like follow him at all costs. So I think it was a mental battle when Canada
When they
shows
go-
up.
They go
And
mano
you,
a
like,
mano.
Yeah, and he actually
Yeah.
starts like beating up on Tetsuo because before that we see Tetsuo like take out a satellite, dominate a helicopter, he
Hmm.
vaporized some dudes in the hallway. Like at no point in time does he do that to Canada. Like he's actually fighting Canada like hand to
That's true.
hand style
Well, Kaneda, quick correction. Kaneda's the one that shoots his arm off.
with the laser.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Kaneda does fight him kind of smart because like he's
Mhm.
talking shit to Tetsuo, and
Mhm.
Tetsuo's just kind of like, "Oh yeah, Kaneda, I'll show you how powerful I am." And he's like, "Oh yeah, Tetsuo," and then like a rock like falls and like it blocks his vision, and then when the rock like comes back, the laser shoots through, and that's where it cuts his arm off.
Mhm.
And you're like, "Oh shit!" Like this dude, like Kaneda's like genuinely good at fighting, where I think Tetsuo's just really strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they kind of like has like an actual like strategy. Because when Tetsuo does start doing like his like superpower shit, like he has this like cool ass bike and he just starts like dodging everything, and then like Kay saves his ass a couple times.
Yeah.
Because he was gonna get crushed by that like boulder, but then I think she stopped it. And then he gets him with the kill shot, but he runs out of battery.
Always got to keep a charge, man.
He didn't know, man. He was his first time because when they have their round two, he has like a shit ton of batteries. So then I don't remember how this fight ends. Like I know they stop fighting. Does Kaneda just escape or Tetsuo runs away?
I
You
think
guys remember?
in my notes, I have Tetsuo takes out a satellite, final showdown with Tetsuo evolving, and then the Colonel shows up. So I think Canada and him are fighting, he gets his arm ripped off by the
Then he
laser,
flies up.
and then Soul happens, and then he flies up, takes out the satellite, and then in all that destruction, we kind of lose like Canada and
yeah,
Kai.
Kaneda and Kai they take off, right? Because like
Yeah,
they're gonna like all that shit's falling on them. That's right.
yeah.
And then Tetsuo sets up his like
Throne.
no, because well then after all that happens, then he sees Akira. Then we find out what Akira is.
Hmm.
Because everyone leaves, the fight's over. Kaneda and Kai run away, and he opens it, and we see that Akira is just like a bunch of tubes with like organs and shit in it. And then the colonel was like, explains to him like that's what Akira is. Like Akira was a person, he was powerful, but they didn't have the technology or the know-how to figure him out. So we preserved his vital organs and shit for future generations. And then Tetsuo's kind of like, what the fuck? And he just starts laughing and he's like, all right, whatever. And then he just takes off to the stadium.
Hmm. And then he rebuilds his arm with like machine parts.
Dude, that was so cool. Like the way
Yeah.
this arm like flexes and shit, like it looks like a real arm.
Yeah. But I think him doing that, like that's where it turns bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that escalates. I like the colonel though, because like the way the colonel just approaches every situation, like he has like no fear and he's like very matter of fact. And like
Yeah.
all these people that could stomp on him, like immediately like kind of respect him and like because like Tatsu doesn't kill him, he could have.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, whatever, dude. And he just like takes off. It's like, oh, even when the colonel goes and confronts him later on in the stadium, Tetsuo's just kind of like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, what are you doing here? Like, no one ever tries to kill the colonel.
Because he's the colonel. It's all bomb.
Can anyone kill the colonel?
I mean, he
get his
survives
secret
some
ingredient
crazy
list?
shit.
17 herbs and spices.
Ooh,
Some of that Kentucky fried.
Kentucky Fried. It's the haircut, dude. They're been too intimidated.
Does
Got
the
that,
colonel
like-
have a colonel haircut?
Yeah, it's like he's like bald and it's like almost like a mohawk kind of in the middle, but not really. It's like bald
Oh,
and then he has like a buzz.
Wait, I'm sorry.
He's talking about Sanders.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. I think his hair's kind of long, isn't it?
I don't
Yeah, I
remember.
think he has some curls.
Does he have a hat?
Nah.
He looks like a colonel from like the Confederacy. He doesn't look like a modern day colonel.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
He looks like a Southern colonel.
Yeah.
So that Tetsuo rebuilds his arm and then Kaneda meets back up with his homie and he uses his bike to charge all the batteries.
Hmm.
That was pretty funny.
Like getting ready for the final showdown.
Yeah, he's like, "Why are we using your bike?" And he's like, "Oh, your bike's on fire." And then it's during this time where we get all that background exposition, right? Where we learn who Akira was, that he was kind of like the Hasbullas, but like he was like way more powerful than them. And then we see the Hasbullas are like when they were kids and they have like all this psychic ability and they have like all this how they get the psychic ability and how they're like testing them and how they all like kind of live together. So I think the kids and Akira were around 30 years prior, right?
Yeah.
Because then we find out like Akira's the one who caused that explosion. Like it wasn't an atomic bomb. It was just Akira's powers got out of control. So he destroyed the city. And then the three kids like survived and they were like the only people that survived. And after the explosion, they harvested what was left of Akira to try and study him afterwards. That's kind of fucked up. Like a mad accident happens and it just kicks off World War III.
For real.
And then this is where we get the monster battle where fucking Kaneda goes to the Olympic Stadium. The colonel confronts Tetsuo and he's like, "Look, dude, like you're losing control of your powers. Like you need to come back with us. We need to give you medicine to get you under control. Like you don't know what you're doing." And then Tetsuo's like, "Oh, you're just afraid of me. Like don't try and fucking control me, man." And they're like, "Nah, dude, like you're fucking up. Like you're gonna hurt yourself or destroy the city." And then he's like, "Fuck off." And then Kaneda shows up and then they start fucking battling again.
I like how as soon as Kaneda shows up, it's just like fight on site. Like there's
Yeah, just immediately.
there's like minimal conversation between them. They just see each other and then they just start battling.
Oh, he yells out Tetsuo. He's like, "Tetsuo!"
Oh yeah,
So he goes,
yeah.
"Kaneda!" And then they just start battling it.
Yeah.
It's just like beef. It's just on. It's a green light, dude. It's on site.
That's how I'm gonna start battles from now on with people. I'm just gonna start screaming their name.
Screaming their name in the middle of a meeting.
Yeah,
This fight was pretty sick though.
because this is where he evolves into his final form.
Yeah, he turns into like that disgusting creature. I thought it was cool when he has his arm on the like that Olympic like chair, and like all the like wires and shit go into the stone, and like it like crushes the stone. I thought that whole scene was super cool. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, that looks wild.
Yeah.
So do you think that only happened because he like made a new arm out of a machine, and so because he created something new, like his body just couldn't control it anymore?
No, they explain it happens because his power developed faster than he can control it.
Oh,
So that's why like he turns into that big monster because he can't contain his own power. So like his body like expands into this like creature thing.
damn.
And then that's when he kills his girl, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where he like
Yeah.
sucks her
Oh
in.
yeah, I forgot his girlfriend shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She tries to bring him back home.
Yeah, she like tries to like talk him down because she's like, dude, you're going crazy. But not really.
Yeah,
She's pretty ride or die.
Her and Kaneda are both in Tetsuo.
That's right.
And then
that's
Tetsuo's like, Kaneda, you gotta save what's her name? Kai?
Kiri.
Or Kiri, you gotta save her, like I'm hurting her, and then you just see her and she gets just enveloped by the
She just gets crushed. That
flesh.
shit. When I first
Blob.
saw that shit gave me chills. I'm like, oh man, that's a horrible way to go out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when Kaneda starts like lasering him, right? It kind of shoots his way out.
From the
Or does
inside.
Tetsuo let him go?
No, he lasers
No,
himself out.
yeah,
because he
Tetsuo
can't
doesn't
control his
have
body.
control.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Damn, would you rather be squished by that blob or burned?
Squished.
Yeah, probably
That's
squid.
instant. It happened so fast.
And then that's when Akira comes back out of nowhere. He just like reappears. He's like, hey guys. He just like, shows up. You're like, what the fuck?
He like forms himself back together like Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From,
because well, the doctor was right because like his release of energy blew up the Akira things, and he was able to like Dr. Manhattan himself basically, and he just like came back.
he does.
That
He
shit was
does
crazy.
just kind of. He looks like a normal kid too.
Yeah, he just looks like
Like,
some regular ass kid.
Yeah, he doesn't look like the Hasbulla, so like he just looks like super normal, and just kind
Well,
of
the
like, hey
Hasbullas
guys,
are mad old.
yeah,
But even then, though, it's only been 70 years. The Hasbullas should be like in their 40s. They're over here looking like they're in their 80s.
gone through a lot of trauma.
all that
all that
stress,
stress.
of fucking Hasbullian.
Yeah,
Hasbullian? You just turned it into a verb?
Oh man. You see that interview with him and Mike Tyson? And Mike Tyson thought he was a kid, so he was
Yeah.
like tickling him and shit. He didn't know he was like an
wait,
adult.
really?
Yeah, dude. No
He's
one
like
told him.
Holding him and like playing with him, and he's like, oh, he's so cute. Hospital is like actually like punching him, and he's like, oh,
Yeah,
he's playing
like,
around.
laughing about it.
Oh no,
He's
I
like,
gotta
"Oh."
watch that.
Like he's punching him in the face, and Tyson's just like
Yeah.
laughing, like ah, ha, ha. And he starts tickling him and shit, dude. I was like, that's funny. They told him afterwards, like, hey, dude, he's like 20, bro. And he's like, oh shit. Yeah, that's fucked up. That's funny. It's classic Tyson. Oh man. So then this scene gets like real fucking trippy. Because then the old like fucking Akira shows up. Takashi saves the colonel and like teleports him to like a tunnel. Well, all the kids teleport him to a tunnel, so he's like far from the explosion. Kai's far away too, and it's just Tetsuo and Kandida are like in the explosion, and you see like the same bomb that went off in the beginning is like forming again. And I like the destruction, dude. The way like everything gets like sucked in, and you just see it like brick by brick. The
Yeah.
animation was like so cool. And then the kids decide, like, all right, they're like, it's unfair that Kaneda should die. Like he tried to stop Tetsuo, like he tried to be a hero. Like we should save him. And they're like, well, if we save him, we're not going to be able to get out. And they're like, yeah, that's cool. So then all of them decide to sacrifice themselves to save
Yeah.
Kaneda. And then Tetsuo fucking gets sucked in with he becomes like part of Akira. Like Akira saves him, right?
Yeah.
And then we see like the doctor's looking at it, and he's like, "What are these readings? These are the birth of the universe." I was like, "What the fuck?" Like I didn't see that coming. Like that's how powerful this dude is that he birds like a tiny universe in that little explosion.
It's like a black hole, right?
Yeah, it's like a black hole because
Yeah.
it like he destroys all the old city and like I guess part of the new, and then it all comes into form into like a little dot, and then that Kaneda goes up and he like grabs it, and then it like disappears, and then there's just nothing around him, and they're like on a little island with like water and shit,
Mhm.
and then boom, that's the way that movie ends.
Yeah.
There's a final line, and it says, "Someday you'll be able to see. You see, it's already begun." I didn't really understand that. I mean, I like looked it up after to try to figure out like what happened in the end, but I think, yeah, that whole ending was pretty wild. Like it was a good climax to tie it all, to finish it.
Well, what did you think of the way it ended, Twan? Because this is where well, basically from Tetsuo going rampage mode up into this point is when you're like locked in, right?
Yeah. I mean, all the crazy stuff started happening. So, yeah, it was cool. I mean, he turns into a giant fucking flesh baby. Um,
Oh, yeah, we didn't touch on it, but like when his fingers have fingers, that shit was weird.
yeah, I mean, just the animation, man. I couldn't get over how nice everything looked. Granted, it did get what do you call it? Like remastered.
Yeah, it's a 4K, but even at like even then, like I feel like the attention to detail was wild. 4K
Yeah.
just like gives you like more visual clarity, but like the way faces moved and all that shit in this movie were pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Didn't really understand all of the like, I guess the end when they're all floating in the light came to a nice conclusion.
Yeah, the ending gets like pretty like philosophical, I feel like.
It does.
Yeah, it gets because like the movie's like in parts. It's like setup, political, like intrigue, instability, to like what you would think like crazy anime action, to like this philosophical ending. Like it's like as like three parts, and you're just kind of like, what the fuck? But I think if you ever get a chance, I would recommend you watch it again. Maybe not right
Yeah.
away, but like watch it with the dub so you can like hear what they're saying while you're also like taking in what's going on at the same time. And I think you'll have a better understanding of the movie for sure. Some of like catch some of the more like nuances, because
Yeah.
watching it this time, like I was saying, like a lot of the storytelling was told visually. And like Matt said, like they dropped these little tidbits about like Akira and like the world at large and kind of the science behind the mystical science behind everything.
Mhm.
And then like it kind of like makes a little bit more sense at the end. But I've seen this movie so many times, and I still don't understand what the ending was trying to say. I think the movie's about like destruction and rebirth. I think that's what it's going for, because it ends with destruction, rebirth, and then destruction and rebirth again.
Yeah.
And then the whole like Akira is like the beginning of the universe. So Akira just like restarts everything. I think that's the movie was trying to say. Oh, you said you looked it up, Matt. Is that what they're going for?
Yeah, he's supposed to like basically create like a whole new universe, and he like transcends his like human self with Akira at the same time. So he kind of becomes like something new out of the destruction. Basically everything that the cult was saying, how Akira was going to bring forth like a new world, but
Did
he
that.
has to like burn everything. He technically did that,
Hmm.
but he created like something all new with Tetsuo.
Oh, interesting. But he didn't even destroy the whole city. So like what did he
It
create that was new?
I don't think it was new in where like
Ah,
Canada and like
gotcha.
all his homies are. I think he created like a whole new universe like elsewhere. Like it was
Mm.
like a rip in the time, or I don't even know. Like I that was all I kind of got from it. But yeah,
Oh, it's kind of fucked up too that they kill the doctor for no reason. Like they just blow his cart, just like I guess like he was monitoring it, so he got sucked in.
Yeah.
yeah.
But like the doctor wasn't hurting anybody. Like I
Nah.
never got like bad guy doctor vibes from him.
Yeah.
He had the
Well,
best death scream. I will say that.
I
Yeah,
don't
in
even, I
Japanese.
don't remember it.
I don't know. It was like So
You gotta
I was
post it on
watching
the
this with
Give it
Instagram.
to us. Give it to us.
yeah, I was
Give us your
watching this
best rendition.
with my partner, and after that death happened, I was like, "Can you imitate that scream?" And I think we spent like 10 minutes just going back and forth, just trying to imitate what we just heard.
That's funny. I gotta watch it again subbed. I haven't seen it subbed in so long. I watch it mostly dubbed now. I mean, that's a very like contentious point. I think it's cool that you guys did it subbed. Like, it can be distracting, especially with a movie like this that has like this real philosophical shit, and you're trying to read it and then process what you're reading while
Yeah.
also like taking in the visual feast that is this movie. Because like we said countless times, the animation and the visual storytelling is like excellent. Like you're doing two readings at the same time. Where I feel like it makes it a little hard. That's
Yeah,
probably why I watch it in English all the time, to be completely honest.
I think I did pause it a couple times, like after specific things happened, to like process what I just saw and think about like why did they put that in there? Or, like, what is this story? You know, how is this developing, or what's going on? Or I did that a lot after a lot of the Tetsuo, like, and most of his stuff, like he's the main character that like develops throughout everything. And I think you kind of see, I mean, it's development, it's bad development because he becomes kind of like a villain in the end. But you know, I paused it to think like, why is he doing this? Or like, you know, just kind of that. I found myself doing that a lot because I was trying to catch up to like what I was seeing and then also reading at the exact same time. Like it was a little bit more difficult, but still enjoyable nonetheless.
Have you seen it dubbed before, Matt?
No, I think every time I've seen it sub.
Yeah, my reasonings for watching it subbed was just
No, I think it's
the
cool.
the voice acting. You know, I don't know. Japanese people, they have this like certain, I don't know, sound to them, especially when they're very emotional
Animated.
and like, yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't know, and it just sounds better. And I was scared that the English voices were going to sound a little too corny, too cheesy. And this being my first watch, I didn't want to, I guess, like deprive myself of, you know, the authenticity of the voice acting.
I think both of you made the correct choice. Like, I know you don't like foreign films, so if you would, well, not necessarily not like, but I know reading subtitles and watching a movie, like we talked about with Al Mariachi, it's like can be like a little challenging. So if you would have asked, I would have been like, I'll just do dubbed. But doing it sub, both of you getting like the original artist's intent, I think was definitely the right choice. If anyone's gonna watch this movie, I think both versions are good, but if you are good with subtitles, yeah, definitely get the Japanese, the original Japanese, like a go ahead for sure. And
Yeah.
this movie is
Yeah,
known for having like a good translation of Japanese to English, because sometimes when they translate, the subtitles can be a little messed up. Like that's not what the person was trying to say. But I heard for this one, they do a pretty good job of it.
That's what I was really worried about. I was worried that the translation was gonna be different, and so, you know, I was worried that like some of the story was gonna get like lost in translation. But knowing that, I'll go back. I'm down to go back and watch it again. This was a fun movie.
It's a good watch. It's a good watch. I mean, it's one of my. Well, we'll get into it with the ratings. But you guys got any interesting facts? I got like 2 pages worth of interesting facts. I said some of them while we were going through the movie, but I really enjoy this movie. And we were talking about the animation. And I was saying how like it like kind of set the new bar. So I guess they even said at the time that the only people that were doing animation at this level was Disney.
Damn.
So when they tried to make this movie, it was such a big endeavor that it took 7 Japanese conglomerates to pool their money together to make this movie, because it cost 1.1 billion yen to make.
Damn.
What's the conversion of that?
In today's money, it's 6,424,000, so like 6.5 mil. But I think at the time it was like closer to 9 mil.
Damn.
Yeah, it had a magazine company, a radio television, Bandai got into it. I'm sure you guys heard of Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
They got into it. an advertising company, Toho, which like does all the Godzilla movies. They got
Yeah.
into it. Even NBC got into it with the Laserdisc Corporation, and the animation studio. It's TMS Entertainment. They also made two of, I'm pretty sure, our beloved childhood shows, Batman the Animated Series and Spider-Man the Animated Series. They animated those series as well. So the same
Nice.
people that did Akira did those shows, which is cool because Batman does the Akira slide in one of his episodes.
Nice.
Yeah, the lead animator, Makiko Futaki. He went on to work with Studio Ghibli, which is like the Disney of Japan. They did Kiki's Delivery Service. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. Princess
Yeah.
Mononoke, amazing movie. He did that one. And Howl's Moving Castle, another great movie.
I'm all bangers.
Yeah, all bangers. Like this guy went on to be like top dog, which I thought
Yeah.
was pretty cool. So the internal release, like I said, it only made 2.2 million. So I mean, when you're putting up $8 million to make an animated film, I mean that's a lot of money. And I guess what made this movie so crazy compared to other, because before in Japan, Studio Ghibli was like the standard. But what they did is for every second of film that you saw, was anywhere from 2 to 24 drawings in every single second of the movie.
2 to
Damn.
24 every single second.
2 to 24 drawings. So it was between 2 and 24 drawings are used for 1 second.
And how long is this movie?
2 hours.
Jesus Christ.
That's
All
how
right.
they got the amount of detail in.
Yeah. I'm gonna do some math. Keep talking.
24 times 120.
Yeah, 24 times 120 if you go on the high end.
Yeah. That's how many.
That's how many
That's
drawings they needed.
2,880.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
drawings.
Yeah.
And this is back in the day. There's no CGI, dude. This is fucking hand drawn.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know how you guys feel about this director, but I like him. But I guess Taika Waititi has been billed to do the live action version of this movie. But this
Dang.
movie's been in like development
Yep.
hell for like ever. Like it was supposed to come out in 2019, but then he got picked up to do Thor Ragnarok and then Love and Thunder. So he's like, well, I'm putting this on hold. I'm gonna go get that Disney money real quick.
Damn.
But
I liked Ragnarok. I didn't like Love and Thunder too much. I feel like
this isn't very good. But
it
Ragnarok
took
was
like
cool.
a really big divergence from like I don't know.
But I like
Yeah,
Taika
I
I
Waititi.
enjoyed fucking Love and Thunder. I thought that movie was cool as fuck.
I liked
Or at
everything
least
but the ending.
Yeah.
Christian Bale's character, Gore. Damn.
Yeah, the Godslayer Gore was cool.
every time Gore came out,
I feel like he was
Good
the only
time.
cool part of the movie. Like that was kind
For
of
me-
it. And like the
for me,
that
ending
was
was
good
like,
enough.
kind of whatever.
Olympus, when they're in Olympus was cool.
oh yeah, fucking
Fucking
Crowe?
Russell Crowe,
Russell
yeah, dude.
Crowe, yeah.
Russell Crowe was funny in that movie.
I didn't think it was
It-
terrible.
Is Akira live action? So it just has a director attached to it right now. It's still developing.
Yeah, it's been in development hell for like 3 decades, dude.
I,
Yeah.
I like Takai Waititi, but I feel like he might bring too much
Comedy to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know
I
how.
haven't seen any not like serious Taika Waititi movie or show.
Everything I've seen of him has been funny in some way.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him do like a
Because
like a
there's
gritty.
no humor in this.
Well,
What do you
I
mean
think
that?
it's
That
I think it's
excellent
like
joke about being 25.
yeah, it's a different type of humor. It's like not our humor. It's like the English humor where it's like really like. Well, I'm not
English
saying that,
humor's
I'm
funny.
not saying that Japanese humor is the same like English humor, but I'm saying it's a different type of humor, so we might just not understand it as much or find it as funny.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like that only part was the only part where I saw a joke. I mean, there was things that were funny, like when they're getting punched in the face and he's like, discipline,
Oh yeah,
discipline. Like that was funny.
Yeah.
Or when like his homie's bike's on fire and he's just laughing at him. Like that was funny.
Yeah.
I wrote down too, like that's I like that scene in particular because it kind of reminds the audience, like, yeah, he's 15 years old. Like that's how a 15-year-old kid would react to seeing your homie's motorcycle catching on fire because you're using his motorcycle battery to charge like your laser cannons. Oh man, I guess I said this in the beginning, but Akira in Japanese means bright, intelligent, or clear.
Mm.
I don't know how that ties into the movie. Did you guys get
Bright.
any interesting facts? Yeah, bright, intelligent, and or clear.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's bright. Akira's bright.
It is bright.
It's all white, light.
It
Like
is
actually
intelligent
bright.
too.
And he clears everything.
Mm,
Yeah.
that is
Mhm.
true. Clean slate.
Yep. Gotta
Interesting.
clear.
Did you guys have any interesting facts?
Yeah. I got a couple.
Let's hear them. Blast them.
So, I mean, the movie, never touched on this, but the movie took place in 2019.
Oh yeah, that's interesting because the manga takes place in 2031. I wonder why
Weird.
they changed it.
Probably
Yeah.
wanted to make him more current.
Oh, because it was 30 years from 1988.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
and it got
so-
it. It's cool. Sorry, but it takes place in 2019, and it got a re-release in theaters in 2020 for the
Nice.
4K
Nice.
version.
Yeah, so it took place in 2019, and then in one of the main places is Olympic Stadium. Coincidentally, Tokyo was scheduled for the 2020 Summer Olympics.
Oh, that's right. I read too that they used Akira in like a promotion to stop the 2020 Olympics from happening during that year because of COVID. So they used like a clip from Akira to like comment on government oversight or something like that.
Yeah.
Nice. I also saw that kind
That
of
is a
touch on
random
your
coincidence.
the consisting of 24 drawings per second. I guess all the drawings included a total of 327 different colors, 50 of which were exclusively created for this film.
That's
So they
cool.
created 50 colors.
That's
Yeah.
fucking wild.
Yeah. All the animation was so dope. And like
Yeah.
the colors that they use are really cool too. So I guess it makes sense now because whenever I think of like Akira or if it's represented in like other media, it has like a really specific like coloring around it that you can
Yeah.
kind of like easily visualize once you've seen it, and then you can see it in other like references of other stuff or different places. Like it's recognizable for being really specific in what it
Like that
does.
shade of red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very particular.
Yeah. It's cool.
That's cool. Damn, I didn't know that. 50 unique colors. That's fucking dope.
Right.
I mean, again, the animation in this movie is fucking incredible.
Top tier.
You got any other ones? That was a good one. 500 colors. That's cool. Or 50 colors. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So when they did the new voice dub in 2001, that alone cost over $1 million.
Oh, yeah, I didn't touch on it. So, like, you're asked in the beginning of this is a cult classic. So, when it came out, it only made 2 million. But with all the home video releases, it's made 80 million.
Damn.
Worth it.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy too, because like
That was
I know
groundbreaking.
you've heard of Akira, and Akira
Mhm.
was like the shit. Like it was the cult classic animated movie of the 90s. And then it just kind of like fell by the wayside. I feel like it's not really discussed. And the only time it is discussed, like the most discussed it's been, is when I saw like, maybe because it's my algorithm, people being like Jordan Peele did the Akira slide in Nope. And
Yeah.
like it's like, oh cool, Akira's back in like the mainstream. But like, I don't know, it's not really talked about anymore. Like you'll see it on movie lists, but like you have to be someone who pays attention to that type of stuff to catch it.
Yeah.
True.
But maybe it'll make a comeback. Anime is like no longer like a underground like nerds only type of activity. Everyone watches anime. I mean,
I didn't look this up, but maybe one of you guys will know. Was this like the very first like I guess version of Neo Tokyo?
this movie, I don't know if it's the first version, but this movie is like when it comes to like the cyberpunk aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is like the like creme de la creme, I guess. It's like the godfather of like the cyberpunk aesthetic in like it's this, they credit this movie, Blade Runner, and what was the other one? Are kind of like when you think like what the modern consciousness thinks of cyberpunk, it's like influenced mainly by those two movies.
Yeah, I mean, I love the whole Neo Tokyo vibe. That whole setting is really cool.
Dude, I mean, it's like I paused it a couple times, like Matt said, just to like look around like some of those scenes.
Mhm.
Like there's so much fucking going on. Like at the beginning when they're flying, it's like that hologram of like that chick in like a bunny outfit, like dancing and stuff. I'm like, dude, that's so cool. That's so futuristic. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what Tokyo's gonna look like. Like humble brag, I just came from there. But like parts of Tokyo look fucking wild, dude. Even today, it's like, oh, these people are living in the future now compared to like anything I've seen over here in the States.
Yeah.
So like parts of that city just kind of light up. It's wild. So I mean, the whole cyberpunk thing, like chef's kiss. All right, should we get into our reviews? I'll start first because I've seen this movie a bunch of times, so I'll try to keep it short. So this movie, I love this movie. Not only for how great the storytelling is and the animation, which I've gushed over this entire pod, but this movie holds a special place in my heart because I'm a big anime guy, definitely not like the hugest, but as a kid, anime to me was Dragon Ball Z. Then I saw this movie and it opened my eyes to be like, holy shit. So this is what Japanese animation can be like. Even as a kid, I'm like, this isn't like Super Saiyan yelling for 50 episodes. This is like a really good fucking movie that like people need to watch and like give respect to. Like this shit is like really good. Loved it. Love Akira. Literally, Akira is like the wallpaper of my computer. Has been for a couple years. Love this fucking movie. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. It's one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Glad we got to cover it on the pod. Definite recommend. If you don't like anime, it's cool. Like, don't think of this as like an anime movie. This is just like a good movie. Like, if they were to do this movie like with a live budget, this would be like unique, looking like an Avengers size budget to pull off what they managed to pull off with the animation in this movie. Definitely recommend. Give it a 95%. It's an A, solid A in my book. It's a must watch for anybody who loves films. Watch the dub if you don't like the sub. Like, watch the sub if you can, though. But if not, the dub's great. I like the dub a lot. I've watched it more dub than I have sub. Put your pitchforks away. I think it's good.
Nice.
All right, Mister. I want to hear Twan's review last because he saw it for the first time. So, Sarah, what was your review? What would you give it?
I give this an A as well. I really like this movie, not for the fact that it's like an anime. I like the storytelling within it. The storytelling is really great. It's so layered upon each other, and it does a really good job of dealing with these really complex, like human emotions, right? Like Tetsuo becomes what he becomes only because he's dealing with like a lot of like trauma that he's had over his whole lifetime, and then he gets his power and he basically becomes like evil Superman. And I really like that they were able to weave all of these different like things together, and they did it in such like a masterful way that just it's like chef's kiss at the very end. Like it's such a great ride. And yeah, even if you don't like anime, I think this one kind of I think it's just a really great story. And the animation is really awesome too. If you have a hard time with sub, I guess dub is the way to go, but I liked it either way. It was really fun.
Heck yeah, 2 A's. All right, Twan, no pressure. What's
All the pressure.
what's your
Pressure
review?
forms diamonds, though, bro.
Ooh, true.
All right. So I have a couple of grades for this movie. First half grade C. It was a slow burn. I'm not used to animated movies being slow burns, so that took a little bit of getting used to. Couple that with the fact that I have a hard time paying attention to things that I'm like not immediately interested in on account of the ADHD. So I wasn't really interested in the storytelling to begin with, or the world building. If I'm being honest, I just wanted to jump right into the madness. With that being said, second half of the movie, fucking A. The fight scenes were crazy. Everything felt real grand. Like everything was just on this huge giant scale. Um, when Tetsuo turns into this like fleshy blob bio organic thing, that was crazy. Um, Overall, the action as a whole in the second half of the movie, um, definitely made everything a lot like it made everything worth it in the end. And it's something that I'm definitely gonna watch again, dubbed, just so that I can like you guys are saying, like enjoy some of the nuances of the movie itself, not so much just the in your face action. I can tell that this movie inspired a whole lot of different things, but yeah, I mean, so first half C, second half A. In total, right now, I would give it a B minus. But I'm sure that'll change if I watch the dub version. But yeah, overall solid movie. I definitely don't. I'm not giving it enough credit in the beginning, and that's just me personally. So, don't come after me. But yeah, it's a great anime movie. I mean, if someone who enjoys anime, even someone who doesn't really watch anime, like my partner, she really enjoyed this movie. Um, it's a great movie. It's a movie that I feel like needs to be seen. Um, just for its like I don't know cultural relevance, and like you said, it put anime. It didn't really put anime on the map, but it definitely introduced it to the masses, and that alone, deserves a look. So yeah, right now B minus, may change after I watch it again.
Nice. So we got 2 A's and a B minus. I agree with everything you say about the beginning for sure. Like I know how to tell people when they watch it for the first time, like especially if like you like anime or you have this idea of what an anime is, like right, the stereotype
Mm.
of it. Like I said in my review, like it isn't really an anime so much as it is like a movie. It's like a drama with like the first half is building up to like the climax of the movie. And if you go into it kind of with that mindset, it makes it I feel like especially the first half a little easy to digest. Like I love the first half, but then again, like I love the movie, right? So
Yeah.
it's like I like the world building and I like all the little like nuances. But like if you're not used to that, like it does take a while. I think of it like the way like anime has this weird rap of being like nerd stuff, super powered beings fighting all the time. And I think of this movie more in the sense as the way like Pixar does cartoon movies. Like, yeah, they're cartoons, but they're crafted in such a mature and like deep way that anybody can watch them. Like it's a story that they want to tell, and they use like these animated creatures or people or whatever to tell their story. And I feel like Akira is like, okay, we can't afford to make a live action version of this crazy ass comic book, but we can make an animated version of it. And the way that they tell the story and they do the world building is very reminiscent of something you'd see like in an actual like live action movie, which I think is pretty cool because you don't really get that too often in animated films anymore. Especially like on the West, it's usually, you get the Pixar movies, you're like, oh, I'm watching a Pixar movie. It's gonna try and make me cry at some point.
Hmm.
And then you watch a Disney movie, you're like, okay, cool, this movie's gonna like it's either gonna be about a princess or it's gonna have some like undertone of like a really good message that's like, that anyone can file about being like a good person or whatever. And I feel like this movie is just like, no, this is like like your typical like it's like a drama, but it's just an animated drama. The drama sci-fi movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Which does have kick-ass fighting scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super
it was a really, really in-depth story, like a really, really adult story. Do you think that the story was created as like a reaction to like the bomb being dropped over in Hiroshima and like what developed as a country after that? Because it kind of feels like that. Like it takes place after World War III that happens because a bomb gets dropped and like the world is basically like controlled by this military because people couldn't like they couldn't like come together as like a population to like help themselves. So the government needed to step in, and then just became like over militarized. You think that like when when they were creating Akira, like the manga back in the day, you think it was like created as a way to kind of tell that story as like a cautionary tale of kind of be careful?
I don't know, because Akira, like I said, was written before, during, and after. I think he started working on it in like 84 and finished it in 91.
Yeah.
So by this point, Japan was, I mean, like, I'm not like super versed on like Japanese history, but from what I understand, this period of Japan in the 80s was when they were starting to have their like economic boom. And like you got a lot more like cool, like mature, like experimental stuff coming out of the manga scene and the anime scene, where like today it's kind of very stereotyped. I feel like a lot of it is kind of like follows like the goofy main character is super powerful, has this like core group of guys fight a guy type of deal. Like it's very like very like formulaic in like the different subgenres. Where back here, I feel like in the 80s, it what the limited research I've done is like it was way more experimental, and people were willing to take chances because Japan had all this like extra income. I don't know if Katsushiro Otomo was like personally affected by the war, like his family or something. I mean, I'm sure everybody was, and like the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki is definitely something that was probably on the mind of a lot of people. I mean, for them, it happened by the time the manga was being written. It only had been 40 years, so
Yeah.
but maybe. But I mean, you see it in a lot of Japanese anime and like TV shows and like manga, which I think is interesting. They from different from the West. The West is always about stopping and preventing like a disaster from happening, right? How is the hero going to save the day at the last minute? Where it seems like in a lot of Japanese stuff, it's about how do you rebuild from so much destruction? Like how do you endure like as a people? And I think that has to do with what happened with the atomic bomb dropping. You're saying like a lot of stuff is about like either the human connection or like how society comes together in the wake of these like horrible things that happen. I think that's because of the dropping of the atomic bombs. Where the US, we haven't really had that. We always play hero ball, where in Japan it's about like overcoming perseverance, I feel like. So maybe it could be a reflection of that, because that's literally the entire story.
Yeah.
Right? It's about rebirth and destruction. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another great episode. This week we covered Akira, highly recommended by the three of us. Gotta check it out, people. Next week, join us as we cover the 2017 crime comedy thriller Low Life. Could be a good one. If you can't listen to us here, you can catch us on all our socials on Instagram, X/Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Yeah, if you still use Facebook for our 40 and over members. All right. Well, it's been fun, guys. We'll catch you next week. I have been your host, The Dale, followed by Mr. Saya.
Yo.
And Twan.
Comment, like, subscribe.
All right, guys. Catch you later. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.